Hey YouTubers, Lonnie here. I'm going to regenerate a battery and I'm going to rejuvenate a battery. Two different methods. I've seen it on YouTube quite a bit. People seem to get some good results out of it, but I want to do it and see if it really works. So stick around, comment if you'd like, and we'll see if this really does work.
Okay, I'm getting ready to pull the battery out of my truck. As you can see, it'll be 5 years old in March of 2019 because it's got a date of 3/14 on it. It's getting really hard to start my truck when it's cold out, so it's losing cranking amps. Get you some gloves and some safety glasses. I'm going to pop these tops off of here, and it looks like they're full. And I've never added any kind of distilled water or anything to this battery. Now I'm going to go ahead and dump it out. And these batteries are heavy. I'm just going to go ahead and put this on there and see if it's going to show us anything. 12.52 volts, 825, whatever that is, 700 cold cranking amps. It's only got 318 cold cranking amps left in it. So no wonder when it gets cold, it gets weak. I got some rainwater in a gallon jug, which is not got any kind of chemicals in it, so same as distilled water. But as you can see how much garbage was in the battery acid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that distilled water, I'm pour it in here, and I'm going to rinse that battery out. I'm going to put the battery acid back in it and see what happens. Yeah, I got the battery upside down, and you can see all the black stuff coming out of it. I don't know if the video does it justice, but I'm going to rinse it a couple times just to make sure I get all of that debris out of the battery. And right now it's just diluted with a lot of rainwater. Plus it's raining outside, so there you can really see the black. I'll keep filling it up and draining it until that clears up before I put the acid back in it. Well, this is the second time I've rinsed it out, and even more came out this time than the first time. I've got this bucket. I got this shirt I want to use as a filter. I'm going to drain my battery acid into that. Let's see how this works out. I got this battery acid container. I'm going to put the battery acid in here, and I'm going to put it into the battery. I got my acid ready right here. I'm going to start filling these cells. Okay, I got all the cells full. Don't know how well it is to see because it got dark on me. But now I'm going to go and charge it and see what happens. Okay, got it all hooked up. It's 32% charged right now, showing that it's a 12 volt. It's on its charging cycle. Once it's charged, it'll go to automatic and just keep it maintained. And then we'll check it and see what kind of load it will hold. Okay, the battery's charged at 100%. Now I'll check the load on the battery. And remember, it was 700 cranking amps. Going to test. Done. 12.62 volts, 8.22 ohm. Go over. We got 700 cranking amps. It's 328.7 cold cranking amps out of 700. I'll put it back in the truck, see if it lasts for a little while.
Here's the things you're going to need: a bucket, a screwdriver, a pair of safety glasses, some rubber gloves, preferably a long sleeve shirt, an old shirt actually, and some old pants, because battery acid, if it gets on you, it's unforgiving. So just remember that. You'll also need a gallon of distilled water. I got this one in this bottle right here because this is actually rainwater. So I'm going to use this to actually rinse the inside of the battery out. You'll also need some baking soda to neutralize the battery acid that comes out of this battery. Okay, the battery does have enough juice to power on this load tester. So I'm going to scroll down and put it on out of vehicle. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to scroll down one. It's an AGM deep cycle marine battery. I'm going to hit enter. Cold cranking amps. I'm going to hit enter. It is an 875 cold cranking amp battery, so I'm going to hit enter. Now the battery is being tested. Now it's showing the health is 0, the charge is 0. It's got 23 cold cranking amps left in it. It has 8.25 volts. The internal R equal 126.87 ohms. And it shows that it is rated at 875 amps. Charge or retest. Well, we know the battery is not any good, so I'm going to try and bring it back to life and see if this really works. I'm going to turn it on. We'll get that reading right there. We'll hit OK. Now I'm going to put 875 cold cranking amps in it. Okay, 875. Now I'm going to hit OK. It's going to be testing it now. See what it says. See what kind of results comes back. It says, let's hit OK. Get the beeping to stop. 8.29 volts. It says, I guess that's 162.4 ohms or 1624. 875 cold cranking amps, but this load tester is showing it only has 0.17 cold cranking amps. So, and at the top you can see the battery actually needs to be replaced, because it's showing up here that there's nothing left. 0 to 100% at the top. It is on 0. So we'll test it again after we put the solution in it and charge it up. See if this really works. Okay, since I brought the meter out, I'm going to go ahead and check it with the meter. As you can see, I got it set for 20 volts. Now I'll go ahead and put it on the battery. And it shows 8.39 volts. Right now, I need to put these glasses on. I need to take the screwdriver and I need to pop these caps off. What's down in there should be battery acid, because I've never ever put any kind of liquid in here. Never added anything to it since I've owned it. What I'm going to do now is get this out of my way. I'm going to pick this battery up and try and empty it into this bucket right here without getting it all over me or splashing it anywhere. This battery is a little bit heavy. There we go. We'll just let it drain like that for a minute. Probably could have used a bigger bucket. Probably be better to get some thicker gloves. These aren't really thick. Okay. We'll go ahead and fill each one of these cells up, even run it over. Okay, I got them all filled up. Now I'm going to shake it real good. Okay, I've been shaking it for about a minute. Just dump it out. Should be mostly water, probably about 95% water. I made 16 ounces of the solution. It's cooled off. But what came out of this battery looked like a whole lot more than 16 ounces. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the battery. Okay, with this big battery, 16 ounces filled up 3 cells. So I got to go make another 16 ounces. Okay, I got my other 16 ounces of solution made here. Now, as big as this battery is, it's going to take 32 ounces of this solution. Now, I'm sure a smaller car battery would probably take the 16 ounces, but if it's this large of a battery, just be aware that it may take up to 32 ounces. Now I got all the cells filled up. I'm going to go ahead and charge it at normal charging rate. Okay, if you decide to try this at home, make sure that these vent caps are off when you put it on charge so the vapors can escape, and make sure that you have it in a well ventilated area. Okay, today the battery is charged and it is showing that it is maintaining the charge. As you can see there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the battery charger off. I'm going to leave it hooked up and we'll see. Okay, it's got 11.6 volts. Looks like it's dropping. 11.5, 11.4. Okay, it looks like the charge is up there, but it's slowly going down. And right now, if I turn it back on, this one battery charger here is showing it's an AGM, which is a marine battery. It's a 12 volt, it's 100% charged. So I'll go ahead and turn it off. Now remember, this isn't a cold cranking amp battery. This is a marine deep cycle battery. Okay, when I plug this in, it's 11.3 volts. So I guess this works, but let's try a couple other things before we determine whether this is good. That's 12 volt right there. Okay, let's try the multimeter. I'm going to set it on 200 volts. Now let's see how many volts that the battery has in it. It is reading 10.4, 10.5 volts. It's bouncing back and forth. So we'll go with 10.4. Okay, I got this load tester set up on it. I'm going to go to battery out of vehicle. I'm going to go to AGM. And it is a 875 cranking amps. I'm going to hit enter. It's showing 0 health, 84 cold cranking amps. Charge is 0, 10.51 volts. Internal R is 35.42 ohms. And it says charge or retest. Now let's try another option what we have. Okay, this is our other option here. We got another load tester. Turn it on. I'll put it on 875. Hit OK. See what kind of test reading it gives. So there we go. Like I said, it's staying pretty consistent at 10.5. It's showing it's got 34.18 cold cranking amps, but like I said, this is just a cranking amp battery. It's a marine battery for deep cycle use. So I got one more tool I want to try, and it's the one I use on the boat. Okay, this little device, I use it while I'm out fishing. It'll tell me how much of charge I have left in the battery, so I can either continue using my trolling motor and fishing, or pull it off the lake and go home. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll take this prong here and I'll put it on the negative side of the battery. I'll take this prong here that's on the tool or device I have in my hand, and I will put it on the positive side of the battery. And it's going to tell me that the battery has a full charge, and as I use it, it will deplete. And that's mostly what I use when I'm on the boat, this right here. So even though the battery's not up to 12, 13 volts, it's still staying at around 10.5 volts, which is really good. I can't complain about that. It'll keep me on the water for a while longer. I don't have to give $200 for another battery. So I'll see how long this battery lasts. So after I regenerated it, I guess, or reconditioned it, it has been starting my truck every day since January the 10th. So it actually worked with this battery. Comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Thanks for watching.